So part of this show is it's called Triangulation because it can be a conversation between our chat room that is watching live and you and I. And there's been a discussion in our chat room about.
There's a chat room. No, imposter syndrome is like firing right now.
It is a very kind chat room. But there's been a discussion about focus versus multitasking because you were talking about being on the treadmill and watching TV and also focusing on the tasks. So can you separate that a little bit about what the difference between being able to multitask, what you're saying is you have this, you have diabetes and you are still doing all of these other things at the same time, creating, making, coding, and also just you're talking about focusing on one thing. So can you tease that apart a little bit?
That is a freaking awesome question. So there is necessary multitasking, like driving and talking to your spouse in the car. There is feasible multitasking where it is a reasonable thing to do, like watching Game of Thrones and walking on a treadmill. Let's look at that. That's totally reasonable. And then there's completely infeasible multitasking, like texting and driving, right? Where you just really need to not be doing that, or brain surgery and making a trade on E-Trade. You know what I mean? So if you can put those into a strata, for example, I am multitasking right now, not trying to be rude, but my blood sugar is on this system right here. So I am watching. Let's see if I can get this to. Hang on, there it is. So I'm watching my blood sugar on this chart and making sure that I don't die in the middle of our talk. That can sometimes be looked upon, of course, as rude because it's like, why does he keep looking at his phone? Right? What's that so rude? He's on a TV show. But in that case, that's necessary multitasking. It might be feasible that I could have a conversation with you and check my email, but that's really not really feasible, right? And I can try walking and checking email. But it depends on whether or not my brain works that way and whether or not the email is really important. If it's something that's a basic email, I could do that. If it's not, I might just stop the treadmill or jump to the side and put my, straddle the treadmill. If it's deep, intense coding, I am introspective and I know that when I use my seated desk, my standing desk, my treadmill desk, what works for me. So I try to chop up the work in places where, the soldering and treadmill desk is not feasible. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Yes. Don't ask me why I know that that's a bad idea. It's best that we never speak of that again.